If you don't understand or value change as a process, that's a huge problem. Your whole entire screenplay is really going to fall apart. It's another one of those crucial elements, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do that. Change, it can be broken down into, there's lots of different terms to understand the process of change, some good, some bad. Laios Igri coined the phrase rising action as what we're trying to achieve, which is a slow process of growth over time. There's also static action, jumping action, which are poor forms of action, poor processes of change that are just not realistic, okay? That's part of the constant learning that we need. I mean, reading Laios Igri is super important. I'll unpack that more later. But understanding the process of change is absolutely key to understanding Act 2 and how it functions in your screenplay. So let's take a look at that. Okay? Let's say that this is Act 1, this is Act 2, and this is Act 3. Okay? We've talked about the character and how he's an expert, victim, and flaw, right? And Bill was an expert at math, right? And his flaw was self-hate. Okay? And so at the end, we know that the victim is no longer going to hold power over him. He's going to have self-love. Okay? And he's going to be even better at math, right? Because along his journey, he's going to change. He's going to grow. That's unbelievably important, okay? So we've got a beginning and we've got an end. And if we're looking at Schindler's List, we would have a materialist, and at the end, we'd have a humanitarian, which is great because you got the setup of your film and you know how your film's going to end, okay? But your film is still going to fall apart if you don't engage your audience at their core, right? And human beings go to the theater to be engaged emotionally, and that being engaged emotionally means being taken through a process of dramatic change. That's truly what engages an audience, okay? And I can talk more about why that's true in a little bit. But this process of change is slowly rising action, okay? If it's a positive change, I'm going to say there's a positive arc. You can have negative change, which would be a negative arc, right? Okay? But change is going to happen in a process of pluses and minuses. That's what I like to call them, pluses and minuses, okay? So he's going to take a step forward towards self-love. You know, he's going to stand up for himself a little bit, and then he's going to take a step back and step forward, and step back and step forward, and, you know, step back, whatever. The process is going to be not perfectly smooth, in other words, right? There's going to be ups and downs along the way, okay, in that journey of change, okay? If we were to look at the process of grief, right? Okay, say a man comes home, finds that his wife has died young of a heart attack. She's, 38 years old. Who would have expected it, okay? That's a brutal, painful process, okay? And he can't skip the process. Human beings are hardwired, right? This is really important to understand. That we can actually define the steps of the process, right? We define 5 or 7 step processes to grief, okay? Because all human beings respond in a very similar way, okay, when they go through dramatic circumstances. And that is process. It's a defined process in which we discover how change works, okay? So unpacking this and exactly what change looks like and how it works is an involved process, and that's kind of at the heart of screenwriting. So I think that what's most important is to understand how change and growth and process are at the core, at the very beating heart of narrative. And when it comes to the screenplay, it's really everything. So it's really important to understand that. And we have a lot more to unpack to make a sense out of it.